Can an insurance company become a greatness factory? Where you are manufacturing the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit, the knowledge, the skill, the desire, the confidence. Could you take people from all walks of life and all socioeconomic backgrounds and take them and manufacture their greatness at your insurance agency as you build it? By speaking confidence into them and success into them. So at 25 years old, when I wrote my first book, I started getting phone calls. Remember, I'm a high school coach. I'm making $25,000, $26,000 a year. I absolutely loved it. And I started getting these phone calls, and the phone call said, will you come speak to our people? And guess what they said? Coach, we got a lot of good people, and they have a lot of no drama. Y'all got to pay attention. They said, Coach, they got a lot of issues. We can't get them to prospect. We can't get them to follow up 7 times. We can't get them to ask for referrals. Coach, we can't get them to do these things. Will you come over and motivate our people? And that word motivate means what? To move. The word inspire means what? To breathe life into. The word activate, initiate. And I would go over and I would speak. And they began paying me more in an hour than I made in a month. And around this time, I'm going around speaking for free some, and I'm giving messages for free. And a guy walked up to me at a thing I did for free, and he said, man, you could do this. I said, do what? He said, go around the world on the circuit and speak to people. And I said, circuit? What circuit? He said, you know. And then he said the magic words to me, like Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz was a head coach at Notre Dame. How many of you guys remember Lou Holtz? Lou Holtz was a head coach at Notre Dame, and Lou Holtz was writing books, and I went home that night, and my imagination was activated, and I went home that night, and I started studying Lou Holtz, and he was writing books, and he was speaking around the country, and then down in the corner it said, speaking fee, $100,000. And I said, I can do this. I can do this. And one book turned into 2, and 2 turned into 3, and that has now turned into 17 books. And so over the last 20 years, I have been using the art of communication to attract thousands of leads. We're attracting 3,000 leads every 90 days, primarily through what I'm going to show you here today. Every person in this room needs what's called a story of origin. And a story of origin is the story where it all started. It's the story where it all originated. Cody's sitting on the front row at 10X, watching those speakers, Milet, Grover, Cardone, Coach Burt, and he had a dream. And he said, I'm going to take this dream and manifested it. A story of origin is where you go back to a moment in time where you connect. For me, it was single mom, right? Raised by a single mom, 16 years old. Took me down to the ball field for babysitting, and one woman changed my life when she said, son, one of these days when you grow up, you're going to be a great coach. That is where it all started for me at 6 years old. That was 39 years ago. When you feel my conviction, when you feel what you feel like is passion, when you feel my certainty, it's because for 39 years, I've had a long obedience in the same direction. Moving toward things, helping thousands of people. That demonstrated capacity builds certainty. The more certainty you have, the more conviction you have. The more conviction you have, the more passion you have. The more passion you have, the more people are attracted to that passion. Because as Ed Milet said yesterday, they have to believe that you believe it. And if you believe it, they will be attracted to you. What is your story of origin that connects to other people's hearts? That connects to other people's spirits? People are attracted to other people that believe the same things they do. I believe there's lots of things in life that are nice to have, but some are must have. Insurance is not a nice to have, it's a must have. How many of y'all agree with that? I believe that insurance is a vehicle that can take you to places financially you never dreamed of. I believe in the power and potential of people. And I believe people move toward other people who believe the same things they do. What do you believe? Why do you believe it? What do you really do for people? How do you do it different than other people? Who have you done it for that you can give me some success? See, this is what we call the explanation of value. You never lead with what you do, you lead with what you believe. People don't care what you do. If you want to end a conversation, when they ask you what you do, just tell them you sell insurance. Yes or no? Hey, what do you do for a living? Hey, I'm an insurance salesman. What do they say? Okay, good conversation. When I'm on airplanes and people ask me what I do for a living, right, if I don't want to talk to people, I go, man, I'm a life coach. And they go, well, I don't need a life coach. And I'm like, good, we don't have to talk the whole plane ride. But if I do want to talk to people, when they say, what do you do? I said, you know what, man, before I tell you what I do, let me back up and tell you what I believe. I believe a good coach can change a person's life. And there was one woman that changed my life. I believe those that have a coach earn 3 and 4 times the amount of money than those that don't. I believe we have potential inside of us, but that potential has to be activated by somebody. And that somebody is a coach. When's the last time you had a good coach in your life? See, when you're selling insurance, you're not selling insurance, you're sharing a strategy. Start selling a strategy and quit selling insurance. Insurance is the product, one of the most commoditized products in the world, by the way, yes or no? Okay, so what you're really selling me is a strategy. How do you package that strategy? How do you find what makes you unique? How do you package what makes you unique? How do you market what makes you unique? And how do you monetize what makes you unique? You're not selling insurance, you're selling a strategy. I can get insurance anywhere, but I can't get you anywhere. Your uniqueness, your past, your experiences, your breakdowns, your breakthroughs. That's what you're really selling me. And I'm going to move toward people who believe the same things I do. I believe when a man asks you to go 1 mile, you go 2. How many of you believe that? I believe in always over-delivering on what you promise. I believe showing up early and staying late, right? These are things I believe. Now, if you believe the same things I do, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you believe some of the same things I do. Look at those hands go up. What's the likelihood that you would move toward me if we believe the same things? See, if we don't believe the same things, it's simple. You're going to move away from me. If you don't have a message that repels some people, you won't have a message that attracts the right people. How bold are you in your message? So there is no better strategy. So let's look at the purpose of speaking. And if you've ever had a desire to speak on a stage or share a message, I want you to really understand something that I missed for so many years. And I don't want you to make this mistake. I used to believe I would go speak, I would sell a few books, I would walk out of there with some applause, and it was good. It was a good day. And then I started to really understand what was the purpose of the speaking. A speaking engagement doesn't change a life. A speaking engagement opens the mind to possibility. A speaking engagement inspires a person to want to take an action. So think of it like this. The speaking engagement opens the mind. The coaching changes the life. Everybody see that? As much as you were inspired yesterday by Ed, by Itzler, by all of the great speakers that you've had over here, on Monday the rubber's going to meet the road and somebody's going to have the discipline to go back and take action on those things. It opens your mind. Now you got to take an action. So here's the purpose of a speaking. Number 1, to inspire an action. I want to inspire you to take an action. Number 2, to open a mind. Number 3, to share a belief. And the better you get at sharing your beliefs, the more you're going to attract more people to you. If you're trying to attract people, if you're trying to recruit people, if you're trying to, whatever it is you're trying to do, you're trying to bring people to you, to convert people to a mission. That is the purpose of the speaking engagement. Being a monster is about taking your purpose and distributing it to the world in a very, very high level.
What do you want people to say about your business? What do you want to be known as in 5 years?
And your journey as an entrepreneur is not to achieve this or that. Your journey as an entrepreneur is to become this or that. Because in life, you get who you are.
The more relationships you get, the more money you get. Then the more money you get, the more relationships you get. It just keeps going back and forth. You guys want to surround yourself with high net worth individuals and you will eventually become one. Why? Because of the relationship.
Today, some of you are going to take some action that is going to propel you into the future so much that you don't recognize the person you look forward to later.
If you don't build your dreams, somebody is going to hire you to build theirs.
How many times have you failed? Fail again. Who cares? Just keep failing. Keep failing. You only have to be right one time.
People are counting on you to show up. They're counting on you to grow up. They're counting on you to deliver.
They're counting on you to be the best you can be for you. Because if you ain't the best for you, you ain't gonna be the best for anybody else, folks.